So I'm Martin BRUNCKO. I'm the Executive Vice President in charge of Europe at Binance. Our European hub, the headquarters, is in Paris. I have been in technology on and off for about 15 years. I've also been in various government roles before, including as Innovation Minister, Deputy Finance Minister of Slovakia. And I've always been very passionate about technology, innovation, and Europe. Our mission at Binance is basically to really advance the crypto industry. We strongly believe that this is a fundamental new technology that has a huge potential to actually empower people and make their lives better. It's a new fundamental, better technology of moving value, of doing money, so to speak. And I think it's a very empowering and very democratizing technology. I'm actually looking after the business that Binance does in Europe. A lot of the work that we do right now is actually a lot of interaction with the regulators, because we want to make sure that whatever we do globally, but I'm personally responsible for Europe, that it's actually fully overseen and regulated by the government, by the relevant regulators. Why is it important for us? Well, we think it's important because it's another layer of reassurance for our customers that what we're doing is legitimate and that their money is safe with us. Well, we've kind of missed the last two waves, right, of the internet. Certainly the original internet, all the big winners were from America, and also from the last wave, kind of more social media, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, or the older ones, Amazon, Google, they're all Americans. So, and then there's a lot of big Chinese companies, but China is very different, very self-enclosed market. So I think we have amazing talent in Europe. We have huge potential here. We even had some great companies, but we missed it. We missed that train. We lost that battle. And I think now with crypto, and that's kind of one of my personal missions, is to make sure that Europe is not just competitive, but that it actually wins this next generation battle of new technology, which is blockchain and crypto. We have the talent, we have the right environment here, so yeah, it's absolutely possible. Actually, there are two levels to it, because I think this is a really important thing, because right now, crypto and blockchain is regulated by every single country differently in the EU. So you have de facto 27 different EU systems. That doesn't really make sense. That means as a company, you need to get a registration, a license, etc. in many countries. You have basically no single market. And we all know, and we've seen it, what happened when there was no proper single market in Europe, right? I mean, just take the mobile phones. Europe was the leader in mobile phones. Nokia with the GSM technology that we practically invented in Europe. But because you had 27 different, or at the time it was probably a little bit less, but countries, more than a dozen different countries, and you had to get your own telecommunications license in a different country. That market was completely splintered. You couldn't really create a large pan-European players. So MICA is very important, because this is a way of creating a single market for crypto. So suddenly you don't have a company that then now has to operate in 27 different countries with 27 different regulations, but you have it all under one single regulatory umbrella. So it just makes so much more sense for all the startups. Yeah, NFTs, I'm actually really excited about NFTs. We're still in the very early days of NFTs. I think that we'll still need to figure out what this really means. But I think it's a very fundamental technology. Why? It's in a way a very fundamental technology like the internet. And we're still in the early days of internet with NFTs. It's like 1992, where kind of the only thing you could do it with the internet, there were some website of some universities. Didn't look particularly useful. But some economists were already saying, oh, internet is so fundamental, it's going to change the world, it's going to change the economy. And why? Because they were saying, well, one of the fundamental tenets of economics is that the more information you have, the more freely the information flows among different actors in the economy, the better the economy will work. An internet, that's just it, right? It's a machine for distributing information. And eventually people found out how we use this machine, and it did change everything. And in a way, blockchain and NFT is something very similar, right? It's just a new technology for moving value. And particularly NFT is very interesting because it's a way of making a digital file unique. Why is it important? Well, we have moved from an analog to digital economy over the past 30 years. And one of the main kind of building block of digital economy is a digital file. The problem with a digital file is that you can make as many copies as you want, and you know they're kind of undistinguishable, right? So this goes back to one of the tenets of economics, other tenets, which is that not just flow of information, but property rights are important. That you can actually say this belongs to me or this belongs to me, and it's very clearly you can do it. And it was very hard to do a digital file, right? Because if you cannot tell which one is original, if it's infinitely possible to create infinite amount of copies, kind of nobody really, you know, who owns this. Suddenly with NFT, you can actually assign property rights. You can say this file is now unique, it's on the blockchain, it's on a public ledger, everybody can check who this belongs to, that this belongs to Sophia. And so again, in a way, it's going back to the early days of internet, what does it really mean in practice? We don't really know, just like we didn't know how people are going to take this machine and use it, but I'm very sure they will, and it will really, it is going to change the world. We have right now the largest curated platform in the world for NFTs. We have a DeFi platform, and we also have a centralized platform. So we're just moving very fast, I would say, hopefully at the cutting edge of the industry with sort of new uses. We also want to have a platform that is enabling users to take advantage of this. Same thing, right? We're in super early days, and we'll see where this goes. I mean, if you look at like AR, VR, you know, augmented reality, virtual reality, people are getting super excited 10, 15 years ago. Didn't really take off. I think we now have the kind of something similar with metaverse, but maybe this is a way of, maybe this one will take off faster. So we'll see. I think we're still in the early days there as well. We've been investing very heavily in anything that has to do with this so-called Web3. That includes metaverse projects. So for sure, we're always on the lookout for amazing projects.